It's 10 a.m. on WKYT Mid-Morning. Investigators are working to find two people after their home catches fire overnight.
Road conditions are improving across Kentucky, but some families say they're still feeling the effects of that major winter storm.
Another U.S. town dealing with a major water issue over fear of lead contamination.
This is WKYT Mid-Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome in from WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Kind of pleasant out there as far as the temperatures right now, but change is always in the works lately. Have you noticed that?
The old saying in Kentucky, right? Stick around and it will change, and here we go. Sort of warm this morning. This afternoon it gets cooler, so let's check in meteorologist Micah Harris, keeping track of it all. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, that front's pushing through as we speak, and you can see the rain still associated with that front down toward the southeast. Now, it will slowly but surely get on out of here. I would say just after noontime, probably noon to about 2 p.m. is when it actually moves out for the southeastern zones. Lexington, Frankfort, Richmond, Danville, Moorhead, Covington, we're done with any rain. Maybe a little drizzle here and there, but other than that, it's about the temperatures. Now, we were in the 40s this morning, mid to upper 40s. Now seeing the 30s spread across the Bluegrass region and westbound, and that's where we're going to be located later on this afternoon. Remember, our high has already been reached earlier this morning. We get into the afternoon, we'll be there in the 30s for all. I'll get into that forecast, show you how long this cold air sticks around, coming up.
All right, thank you. And this morning, investigators still have not located an elderly couple who lived in a home that caught on fire.
The scene is on US 460 in Pike County in the Farrells Creek community. Firefighters spent several hours working to get the fire under control, and that kept them from being able to go inside the home to search for the couple.
We haven't located them, but their vehicles and everything's still there, so we just hope that they're gone somewhere, somebody picked them up, but we'll get in there and find out when we get the fire out.
Right now, both lanes of US 460 are shut down near the scene. That is again in the Farrells Creek community. Some people in southern Kentucky are still without power following last week's major winter storm. Southern Kentucky saw both freezing rain and heavy snow. One Whitley County couple has been without power since Friday morning. The Bryants say all of their food spoiled, and it's been frustrating not knowing when the power will be restored.
I try to have a positive attitude, but it's getting to me.
Now, Cumberland Valley Electric still has about 230 customers in Whitley County without power this morning.
Tonight, Governor Matt Bevin will unveil his first two-year state spending plan. The governor is already calling for the state to generate more money to fix shortfalls in the public retirement systems. He says he will not be raising taxes to do that. The governor plans to use any excess state revenue for those pensions. The teachers' retirement system alone needs an extra $1 billion over the next 2 years. Governor Bevin will give his budget address at 7 o'clock tonight. It airs live on KET. A federal judge has ruled in favor of the owners of a Noah's Ark theme park in northern Kentucky. The judge says the Ark Encounter in Grant County should qualify for tourism-related tax credits from the state. The state withdrew its offer of tax breaks because it said the park planned to discriminate against job applicants based on religion. The park then sued. The judge upheld the park's right to hire people based on their religious beliefs.
Police say a man used a carving knife to rob a Lexington Speedway overnight. The armed man walked into the Speedway on New Circle and Meadow Lane around 3 o'clock this morning. He stole cash and cigarettes. The robber was wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. Lexington police are investigating a smash and grab at a BP station on Winchester Road as well. They say someone used a rock from the parking lot to smash through a front door before stealing cartons of cigarettes.
New this morning at 10 here on Mid-Morning, police say a driver did not stick around after an injury crash this morning. Firefighters found the scene on Bryan Station Road about 7:30 this morning, and according to police, both cars were headed outbound on Bryan Station when one rear-ended the other. The car in the back ended up flying off of the road and flipping into a steep embankment. Police say the driver of that car took off. The other driver went to UK hospital.
4 people managed to escape from a burning Boyle County home. Firefighters spent hours at the home on Highway 68 in Perryville. No one was hurt, but it took them a long time to put out the fire and handle all of the hot spots. Firefighters say much of the home was gutted by the fire.
Voters are heading to the polls today in deciding if the City of London should go wet. Alcohol sales are already allowed by the glass at restaurants in London, but today's measure would expand the sale of alcohol to stores. The polls are open in the London city limits until 6 o'clock tonight. Democratic and Republican presidential candidates continue to make a big push for Iowa voters less than a week before the state's caucuses. Hillary Clinton touted her experience during a town hall in Iowa last night, while rival Bernie Sanders sought to explain his Democratic Socialist label. Both candidates did their best to set themselves apart.
Hillary Clinton voted for the war in Iraq. I led the effort against Wall Street deregulation. See where Hillary Clinton was on this issue.
There are very different visions, different values, different forces at work, and you have to have somebody who is a proven fighter.
The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Sanders leading Clinton 47% to 46% among likely Democratic Iowa caucus goers, a very tight race. The Republican battle for Iowa is also a close one, with Donald Trump and Ted Cruz locked in a tense fight for first place as well.
The head of Ohio's EPA is calling for a criminal investigation after the operator of a water treatment plant in Northeast Ohio failed to notify the public they may be drinking dangerous water.
As Brian Webb reports, it's similar to the water problems plaguing Flint, Michigan.
Bottled water and lead testing kits poured into Sebring, Ohio, after residents were notified that their water may not be safe to drink.
And I don't understand why they wouldn't tell us, so that they could keep us from having to go through illnesses or whatever.
Officials say dangerous levels of lead and copper were found in 7 of 20 older homes during tests dating back to last summer. But it wasn't until last week that city officials issued a public notice warning children and pregnant women not to drink the water.
Obviously, there's a notification issue.
Sebring's plant and distribution system are considered safe, but the slightly acidic water caused some pipes to leak the materials into the water supply. The head of Ohio's EPA has suspended the town's water plant manager from working at the treatment plant, saying he submitted misleading, inaccurate, or false reports.
We also recognize that our district office was probably too patient with the village as they were working with them to get the proper notification out. Schools in Sebring are canceled today for the 3rd day in a row. Brian Webb for CBS News.
State officials will hold screening clinics at the elementary school. Ohio's water treatment plant serves about 8,100 homes there. A Lexington man is now back home after making the drive up to Flint, Michigan. Local rapper Divine Karama spearheaded a campaign to collect water to deliver to Flint. Yesterday, he drove a U-Haul filled with 500 cases of water to Michigan and dropped it off to families in need there. And he made it back in town about 4 o'clock this morning.
Well, the UK Hoops team pulled off a thriller in Lexington, taking down the Tennessee Lady Vols in a close one. Tennessee led for much of the game in Memorial Coliseum last night. It wasn't until the second half when Kentucky's Michaela Epps turned it on. Boy, she did. She ended up scoring a game-high 23 points. Hoops win in a close one, 64-63.
Kentucky fans have the chance to help the Wildcats beat the Florida Gators in a different type of competition.
The 8th annual Big Blue Slam is underway. The competition encourages both Kentucky fans and Florida fans to donate blood. After the first day, Gator fans have the lead, 279 to 235. Any Kentucky fans who donate this week will get Slam T-shirts and a chance to win tickets to the 2016 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. A lot of good incentives to give.
That's right.
Plus the fact that, you know, with the challenges we've had with the weather, blood supply has been a little down,
Well, they'd
too.
already had some issues, and so now with the additional situation last week, you're right.
Good time to do it.
Be in need.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. A marathon goes to the dogs.
Right. We'll have more on the unexpected runner who ended up making a pretty good showing in a recent race.
I'm Suzanne Marquez in Hollywood at the red carpet premiere of The Finest Hours starring Chris Pine. Talking to him coming up in Ion Entertainment.
At 50 degrees over in eastern Kentucky, 30s back toward the west. Here comes that cold front, maybe even bringing us some flurries. We'll talk all about that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have that front moving through, and that's putting off some showers down towards southeastern Kentucky. That's where we're going to be focusing in on the next few hours, just due to the fact, well, we just can't get away from these fronts rolling on through. So the next few hours down toward the southeast, if you're sitting in the mountainous regions, Harlan, Middlesboro, go off toward Whitesburg, Pikeville, Hazard, Hal Rogers Parkway, just south of that, that is the best opportunity to pick up some light to moderate rain as it flies on through. So I would say anywhere from 12 to 2 are the last drops that move on through. Then it gets over the mountainous regions and moves out of our neck of the woods. Lexington, Bluegrass region north and westbound, we are done with the rain as this front continues to push on through. Now the front is past Lexington. These winds will continue to pump out of the west and northwest, and that will give us the opportunity to see those temperatures drop through the day. You're down in the southeast, it doesn't feel all that bad. If you're outside of the rain, it's actually a pretty nice start to the day. But back toward the west, now we're talking about seeing temperatures about 6 to 7 degrees cooler than where we were this morning. As we went on at 4:30 this morning, we were actually at 47 degrees. So you're talking about a big drop of temperatures. If you're walking out the doors, plan for the 30s later on this afternoon, not the 40s and 50s like you're seeing down toward the southeast. So the afternoon temperature, not the high, we've already hit our high, the afternoon temperature at 36 with a few showers down southeast. Now let's go through the next few days, kind of break it down for you. Tonight and into tomorrow morning, a few flurries are possible with those clouds laying around. Highs tomorrow at 32 degrees. Now that is going to be your coldest day in the forecast. You go throughout the next few days, 30s, 40s, they continue to rise. Maybe a few flakes there on Friday. Not a big issue with that one either. So no big storm on the way, no accumulating snow on the way either. Then the weekend, huge warm up. I mean, we're talking 50s for highs on both of those days. And both of those days look pretty dry too. This weekend, probably the best weekend we've felt in a long time. We're looking at today, 36. Those showers will start to fade away as we go throughout the rest of the morning and toward early afternoon hours. Tomorrow, maybe a few flurries, not a big deal. That goes for Friday too. And then once again, that weekend, guys, look at that. In the 50s. This is a weekend you can get a lot done. Because the past couple of weekends, they've just been rainy, they've been snowy, and yeah, we haven't been able to really get out and knock some things out. Hopefully we can do that this weekend with those temperatures. 52 Saturday, 55 on Sunday. I think I'm finally going to be back on people's happy side instead of the mad side.
You're always on our happy side.
In the grocery store, they're
You're just
like,
a messenger.
You. It's you.
Oh, Micah, you were even smiling while it was snowing.
Right.
Can't take it too personally.
No,
Anyway,
no,
well, a dog's bathroom break turns into her big break as she unknowingly finishes a half marathon.
Did well. Ludovan, the Bloodhound, turned up at the starting line of a Elkmont half marathon down in Alabama. The dog trotted along with runners for the entire 13.1 miles. She competed without a human or a leash and finished in 7th place. Her owner, who is not a runner, didn't even know about her celebrity dog until a friend filled her in. Ludovan was presented with a finisher's medal for her big accomplishment, and she went home, and then guess what? Took a big nap, right?
Oh, look at that award there. Isn't that great? Pretty good shape.
Very sweet. All right,
Hadn't even been training.
let me move this just in to WKYT. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray has arrived at the Secretary of State's office in Frankfort, where he is filing for the United States Senate, the Democratic nomination. So that had been anticipated, and he is there now filing.
We'll keep you posted on that. A former Beatle gets ready to hit a long and winding road, and Hollywood heavyweights shine on a new New York red carpet.
Suzanne Marquez has your eye
The new action thriller, The Finest Hours, tells the true story of the Coast Guard's most daring rescue. The tanker ship, the Pendleton, broke in half during a storm off Cape Cod in 1952. The stars of the film made it back to dry land for the film's premiere last night in Hollywood. Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, and Eric Bana star in the maritime drama.
The real privilege of this is to meet the people, the men and women that actually do this for a living, and to remember that they do this every day, and they put their lives on the line every day for us.
The Finest Hours opens nationwide Friday. There was serious star power on the red carpet in New York last night for a gala for the National Cares Mentoring Movement. Filmmaker Lee Daniels was MC of the event, called For the Love of Our Children. The celebration raised money for group mentoring programs.
We recruit mentors, we connect with them, we train them, and then we deploy them to where they're needed.
And Ringo Starr has announced the lineup for his all-star band. Veteran rocker Todd Rundgren, Toto alum Steve Lukather, and former Mr. frontman Richard Page will join the former Beatle on stage. The tour kicks off June 3rd in Syracuse, New York, and wraps a month later in L.A. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Hollywood.
All right, from Mozart to jazz, it's sure to be music to your ears.
Coming up, we'll tell you about an evening at the theater next on WKYT.
And tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $46 million.
Tomorrow and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $75 million.
Hey, it's great to have you along here on WKYT. Here at Mid-Morning, top local talent will perform at a Lexington church this Friday, and it's to help raise money for the church's music program.
To tell us about an evening at the theater, we're joined by Will White, the Director of Music Ministry at Hunter Presbyterian, along with Pastor Jason Santa Lucia. And we do welcome you very much. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Well, I would say so. Tell us about the kinds of music that people will be able to hear Friday.
Yes, our concert on Friday is going to be in two separate parts. The first half is more classical repertoire, so you're going to have some operatic arias and some art songs. You're going to hear Strauss, you're going to hear Mozart, you're going to hear Richard Hundley. And then the second half of the concert is more musical theater, some jazz standards, some Broadway things. So you'll hear Lerner and Lowe, you'll hear some Sinatra tunes, I mean a wide array of music.
Well, before we hear a little bit more about who's going to be involved with that, because we do want to hear that, I want to see if you can give me a little bit more about the history of Hunter Presbyterian. This is a great place to have this.
Sure. Let's see, Hunter goes back to, I think, about 1929. Back when Rosemont Garden was kind of the edge of the city, if you can imagine that.
That's hard to imagine, yes.
It was all fields beyond that.
Sure, yeah.
At that point, it was actually called the Rosemont Sunday School, and it was an extension or an outreach of First Presbyterian Church, which is a very old church in Lexington. But within a few years, I think, it became a separate congregation, and they hired their first pastor and got moving, and they've been in that neighborhood ever since.
So an event like this gives you an opportunity to continue the strong music program that you have there,
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
That's one of the things Hunter, I think, has been known for, so absolutely.
Well, as you give out that call for everybody to attend the concert, who's going to be involved in it?
Great question. We've got 5 soloists, and 2 of them are graduate students at UK, vocal performance majors, just amazing voices. And one of our undergraduate soloists, her name is Mary Catherine Wright. She actually won the Metropolitan Opera competition in the district, and she will be heading, I think it might be Chattanooga or somewhere in the southern region for the regional finals for her.
It's a great way to send her on that way. Isn't that great?
Before she's there, she is performing for the local crowd. It's going to be very good on Friday night, January 29th, 7 o'clock. Tickets $10 each, and do people need to reserve those? Or?
No, and they're general admission, so there's not reserved seating or anything.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And much better weather than last Friday.
Oh, yes.
Much better.
Should be good by then. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Good luck with it. Keep it right here this mid-morning.
Going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next, see what's cooking up here on this Tuesday.
Here in the Test Kitchen, we love reading your comments on Facebook and on MrFood.com. They help us plan what recipes to create and which ones to feature. And when a recipe stands out with tons of great comments, like the meatloaf we're making today, you can bet we'll be sharing it with you. For this, all we do is combine a couple pounds of ground beef, with a finely chopped onion and green pepper. Then we add an egg, Italian breadcrumbs, some ketchup, and a bit of black pepper. And the trick to making any good meatloaf is you want to mix everything gently. This will keep it nice and tender. After putting it in a loaf pan, we gently pat it down so it holds its shape and doesn't crumble when it's baked. After baking it for about an hour, we spoon the remaining ketchup on the top and finish it with some brown sugar before popping it back in the oven for a few more minutes. You see, the combo of the ketchup and the brown sugar creates a to-die-for glaze that puts this meatloaf in a league of its own. So why not hop on your computer, tablet, or smartphone and grab the recipe for our old-fashioned meatloaf so you can make this for your family and see what all the hubbub is all about. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a classic comforting way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Meatloaf,
Okay.
that's for you.
Yeah,
I know you'd like it.
You know what I would do? Scrape the rest onto your plate. Absolutely. 36 by the afternoon. We are dropping those temperatures if you're sitting in the southeast. The front's not there just yet. You do have some showers, but wait for those temperatures to dive. Plan on a chilly afternoon. And the next several days, guys, really aren't that bad, especially those weekend temperatures. Boy, do those look
look
good.
at that.
Yeah, we do have a few flurries, a couple of flakes. We'll talk about that in further detail coming up at noon.
All right, nothing
And
serious.
all the latest news coming up at noon right here from WKYT.
Your news always on at WKYT.com. We'll see you at noon.